a structure. ECD children in Bomet do not have swing. You are not investing in that. I would want to know that. Chair, another one I would want to ask that it's absolutely important, the latrines for those kids. Are latrines the best infrastructure for children of that age? Should we be doing pit latrines for children in ECD? Again, a question I'm throwing out, Chair, for us to interrogate. Finally, I have not seen in your budget the statutory remittances. I can't see any budget line on your isolating statutory deductions for staff. We are going to get into a serious crisis in this country, Chair, because civil servants, public servants, deductions are actually being squandered, both at national and county levels, and this is a serious issue of insecurity in terms of the future of public servants in this country.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe starting from Senator Morango, there's something that he asked about delays in disbursement. And this majorly touches on the financial year 2023-2024, which is true, Chair, that we were a bit slow in the financial year 2023-2024 as counties. Because I will give you an example. Disbursement for January, February, March, April was received in May. Those are 5 months. And you expect to pay your constructors, to purchase medicine, and so forth. So we are a bit slow. By the time we were processing in June, and even the disbursement for June, I think it came timely at the end of the month. So, but when you have delays for 5 months, and you expect me to deliver on these projects, it becomes a challenge to me and to the rest of the governors. Of course, we have had issues in the current financial year, but rarely does it go beyond 2-3 months in these delays. So we are still struggling, and hopefully before the end of the financial year, we'll be able to complete what is expected of us. And then my sister senator has asked about what kind of infrastructure we should be having for ECDs. And I agree with her that probably we need to have a standardized structures designed, informed by what we know about the young child. I agree, because not every building is suitable for a young learner. So maybe as Council of Governors, we should sit down and agree with the experts also, guidance of the Ministry of Education and experts that we have within the country, so that we have a standardized environment for young learners. For those of us who are coming from rural areas.
Chair, just a minute. Why are you throwing it to the Council of Governors? Have you seen the ECD facilities in Muranga, for instance? They don't need permission of COG to do that. That is about your policy as Bomet.
And that's why I'm saying we need to standardize, because I think even for classrooms.
But in the last Senate,
yes,
standardization was discussed. I was still in the same committee of education. Standardization was discussed, and there was a model classroom and model desks. It was in fact not desks. I hope they are not, yours are not sitting on desks. No. They are sitting on tables.
They are chairs, and then we have the tables.
They are tables and their chairs.
Yeah.
And I thought the council at that time said they were standardizing so that they have a room that also has some play area. Because the problem is if you don't have play area for ECD children, what are we talking about?
Chair, I agree. But still, if you move across the 47 counties, I think we still have a challenge. But I agree, we need a conducive environment for young learners. And then when it comes to other amenities that needs to support that environment, especially those of us from rural areas, it might be a challenge, because even when we talk of pit latrine, for some of the areas, it's a luxury for some, especially from where they come, their homes. So I don't know the alternative for
You know,
pit-like
Governor,
trains.
it is so sad that we are now going how many years since devolution? And toilets are a right. It's a facility that is health-oriented. No governor should tell us that there is a place that is too rural to have toilets.
Chair,
But Madam Chair,
I think even
Madam
for
Chair,
some areas, they
Madam
have
Chair,
under trees, Chair.
Madam Chair, I like what Governor is saying because it's being honest and truthful. The reality on the ground. He's being truthful because
In fact, even for some of my ECDs, we have asked churches to give us their buildings. So Sundays is a church. Monday to Friday, a classroom. So that tells you,
Governor, you have.
With finality, that we are not going to expect governors to continue doing the illegal, doing things they have not been mandated to do in Schedule 4, and then giving us an excuse that they are begging for facilities from elsewhere. We have asked you from your own education budget. You are spending a lot of money on bursaries that are not yours, instead of building toilets and classrooms for your ECD classes. So you cannot have that as an excuse. That is an excuse we don't, and we support the comptroller of budget not to approve a single cent for bursaries until governors do the right thing. So please don't take us to churches again. Get out of churches and build the classrooms. The other illegal thing that is going on in Bomet, which must be stopped, is the idea of building one PP1 and not building PP2.
Yeah, where will they
You
be?
must have PP2. It would have been better for you to tell us that I'm doing, with these 2 million, I'm building one permanent building and one structure of 50,000 shillings for PP2. But you must have the two classes. Otherwise, you are absconding from your own duty, and you are doing things that are not, and you are not doing the right thing on what has been given to you. It's better to have structures that are not permanent. The more rural you are, have structures that are not permanent to begin with, but we must see PP1 and PP2. Of course, we are coming to Bomet.
yeah, and you'll be able to see and appreciate what we've been able. But we have to be realistic and also be fair to us as governors, because if unfair demands are given to us, because if I have to construct 1,200 classrooms times 2, I require 2.4 billion to 3 billion. That is 50% of my budget, which is unrealistic. That's why I'm saying we have to appreciate what we've been able to do and the challenges also that we have. I was just responding to my sister senator that with light train, if we've been able to construct, that is the best that we can do at the moment. As Chair is proposing, we can even have a structure of 50,000. I will not have a problem with that. But at the same time, I will also be asking myself as a teacher, will it be a safe structure? Because that will be a party all-round structure. Will it be safe for these learners? And that's why we have to be realistic. We have a challenge, and I expect you as the Senate to assist us. Probably we now think beyond the resources that we have. How can we fund so that we move faster? Because if I have 50 classrooms financially, how long will it take me to construct 800 classrooms? That is still, it will take me several years. And that's why it is my problem, it is our problem, it is the problem of our country that we need to sort out. And that's why, apart from clarifying issues, there are things also that we need to pick and see how you can assist me as the governor of Bomet so that I can move faster.
Thank you, Governor. I hope you are taking note of what we are saying so that we are not going in circles. Yeah, we have given you very good suggestions. Tell us, there is an expenditure called ancillary education support. You budgeted 15 million in the year 2022, 2023, and spent 11 million. What was it? What was that expenditure?
Let me ask my CC to respond to that.
Yeah.
I want that to take that one.
Statutory
in
deductions.
relation to, is this just a classroom? This 2 million structure, is it just a normal standard classroom, or you have play areas, do you have equipment, do you have?
Okay.
So maybe before she responds to that, I can respond to this one because it may not be actually under education. Statutory deductions are normally done centrally. All our employees and the budget is within the Department of Administration. So teachers, governor, everybody, health workers are paid through one budget that we have within the Department of Administration.
But you have remitted, Bomet has remitted all statutory.
We have remitted.
So you are up to date, eh?
We are.
Kindly share with us that.
Madam Chair, sorry, the information I have, because this is important, I'm a friend to the committee, and it will be very wrong for me to keep quiet when certain information might need clarification by submission of relevant proof documents. Because what I have is that the county government stopped remittances of pension after the implementation of the increment to comply with the SRC directive. The pension is what is paid to reflect as if it is a salary increment for the ECDE teachers. To discount this statement, I will be asking Madam Chair to direct that the governor give us, whether it's from the Department of Administration, information in form of evidences to the remittances of these ECD teachers, notwithstanding the fact that it's being handled by a different department.
Thank you, Senator. I think that's what Senator Moma wanted.
Yeah.
He wanted the list to come to
Yeah,
the committee.
yeah, and I can confirm to you, Chair, that we have done that.
Yeah.
And I don't want rumors to be brought to this committee. And that's what
You are not the chair of the committee.
We are the ones to verify.
Committee.
Yes.
You can only take what I give you, but you don't.
And we'll supply you with that
I will
information.
tell you when there is rumor and when there is truth. But I've told you that let's get that data and let's get the information. Yep. So what is auxiliary? What is this auxiliary education system support, and what is this cost of 2 million going for?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Chair. For the cost of the 2 million, what Senator Moma has just asked, we have said the 2 million is actually meant for the construction of the classroom, and then we have the bit latrines. So far, we have not provided the playing items that are meant for the learners, mainly because of the budgetary constraint. The 2 million will not be able to accommodate the other implements that are used for.
So what is the cost of a classroom in Bomet?
Okay, the cost of the classroom and the toilet from the public works and the assessment. And I've said that the value actually sometimes even go higher than that because of some areas the soil is not stable. So even construction of the toilet, the pit latrine, they have to use the culverts. And the cost can go up to the as high as 2.3 million. Yeah. That is the toilet plus
Very
the classroom.
expensive to have a classroom in Bomet. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, auxiliary?
Auxiliary support, this actually comes in about the support, the community support.
Madam Chair, I would want to know the size of the classroom so that maybe I can do mathematics. The size of, is this standard or?
They're saying standard for 40 students.
40 to up to 50.
40 to 60.
What is that? What is the size? Because,
Measurements, you must have.
yes, measurement, so that at least we would know, because anything can fit 60 to 40 students, anything can fit. So what's the standard?
Yeah.
Okay, we can give you the measurements are there, and normally the quality of the materials, again, that we use, we don't use the bricks, but we use the blocks. And also the mabati that we use also is actually the quality roofing. So the classroom is, actually, I'll give you the size of the classroom before the end of this. The case of the auxiliary
So again, go back, Governor, and look at what was standard in the last Senate, because the standard classroom was smaller. You don't have 60 children in a classroom. These kids, you cannot have more than 25 in PP1 and PP2. That's why some schools are already running double streams. And that's why we're telling you, visit some of the counties and you'll see the difference.
Madam, just also further to guide, the Kenya Integrated Early Childhood Development Policy Framework was passed in 2017. It will be very important for the governor to acquaint himself with that. It gives the specs of the classrooms. It gives the policy framework on how all these questions we're asking would guide. So I hope he will get an opportunity to get that 2017 policy framework that was passed and approved by the Council of Governors applicable across, supposedly so applicable across the 47 counties. But of course, from what we are experiencing here, it is not applicable in the county of Bomet.
Thank you. For the case of the auxiliary support, I've said this is actually sometimes the support to the school. Sometimes we have a challenge whereby the high school can come in and they are requesting, maybe they don't have the chairs. Sometimes during the heavy rains, the toilets can sink and the high school can come in again requesting for the support for the same. So like for the case of
High school. Did you say high school?
we have high schools, we have primary schools, yeah, that can come in and they request for the support.
Another bursary like.
Yeah. Why are you bothered by secondary schools and primary schools when you are not doing very well in your own ECDs?
And you're saying you can't, you don't have money to buy land, and you're busy engaging on functions that are not yours. Are you being for real?
Thank you very much, Senator Muma. The main reason is actually the community. They can come in flocking and they actually make a request that you cannot actually be able to afford that one. And sometimes
The community can ask you for anything, and it's their job to ask. It is your job to implement the law. This is not your money, it's public money. It is your job to implement the law. It is the job of national government to implement the law. So you don't have the latitude to dish out money to anybody who walks to you because they are a community.
They have destroyed the essence of ECD, because ECD is PP1, PP2. And I keep repeating this because I don't know whether you really understand why it is very important for us to have PP1, PP2 before children go to grade 1. You're just destroying the foundation of those children. Giving chairs, giving whatever to, you cannot be a donor. Governors are governed by law. They are not supposed to be donors to anybody. Okay, this one has nothing to do with ECD. It has nothing to do with vocational training. It is just auxiliary money that is donated to us.
Chair, I'm requesting that you also direct that they give us a schedule of all payments made in the name of ancillary.
Yes. Can we have that?
okay.
Okay. Let's get that one. Okay,
Madam Chair.
members, we are about to
But Madam
have
Chair,
the last round, so let's go to.
but Madam Chair,
Yes.
it's not a comment. It's something I've always thought is a joke. Huh? There's a comedian called Professor, and Professor.
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 Professor, yes.
Professor. Now it confirms what he has been saying, because I always thought he's joking when he's telling us about Bomet and the status of the ECDs in Bomet. Now, from what I'm getting, what she's telling us, the CC is telling us that any request brought by the community, she's there just to listen and to do what they are saying. But the truth of the matter is, community can ask anything. They'll tell the senator to build a road. They'll ask governor to do a university. You must stick to your functions. The same way we keep complaining here, Governor, we tell the national government money must follow functions. I am one person who complains to the national government every time about health. The money that's going to the county is not enough for health facilities because I'm in that committee and I'm always concerned. So if we are complaining to the national government that money that for health should be increased, and you in Bomet, you are busy dishing money to the wrong projects. Seriously, it bothers me. It pricks my conscience, especially when your CEC is here telling us, any person coming tell us you pay for us university, you know your functions. You must know your functions. You must stick to your functions. Like today, I cannot tell farmers in my county to go and arrest a person. I know it's the work of police officers. You must stick to your... Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, allow me a final one. On these bursaries, have you paid any bursaries to students abroad? No, you haven't.
Madam Chair, allow me. There's something I earlier on raised, because I want to avoid this story that the governor is trying to say we are dramatizing issues and we are bringing gossip. We are doing serious oversight work here. when I speak about non-remittance of statutory deductions, it is a serious matter, Governor. And I have a copy of a letter that was done to your office, copy to County Secretary, CEO Public Service Board, Chief Officer of Education, and the Chair of Education on 27th of February 2025, where the teaching fraternity ECDE Bomet County are saying that you have failed to remit what has been deducted, which is a requirement of law. So this is not gossip. This is not misinterpretation. This is not dramatizing. This is something we are raising to help you and help the people of Bomet and help your governance to do the right thing. Madam Chair, allow me to table this letter to you so that it deals with this.
Who is the author? Because you cannot bring things.
No.
Yeah.
That is for the chair to be-
By
Chair,
the way,
I think you have to be fair to me, Chair, because you cannot table things that I have not seen.
No, we always table petitions even from the wild.
And that is why I raised
If
my
you- if you-
objection in the first place, Chair.
No, I want you to know how operations are also in the Senate. In the Senate, we receive petitions from the public. This one, if it is a petition, we will prosecute it. We'll prosecute it as a committee, and we will call for facts that follow it. So you don't have to worry about where documents come from. In Senate and in Parliament generally, as an oversight arm, any member of the public is allowed to actually submit any document that may help us help them. So petitions are 100% in the hands of the public.
And is the chair to determine whether the document is admissible?
Yeah, it's okay or not. So don't worry about verification. We have to verify before we utilize any information.
Chair.
And by the way, there are very nice classrooms and toilets that are going around. You can have a look at that as members.
Excuse
But
me,
there was
Chair.
only one thing that, as you clarified those, I wanted to have a clarification on VTCs. VTCs, on page 3, you have given us an expenditure of 108. And then when you go to page 5, you are giving us 133 million. What changed?
They have to swing.
Chair, I don't know how you treated that issue of statutory deductions and third-party deductions.
Statutory deductions, I think we concluded.
directed that the
Chair,
judges
I mean, Governor, for statutory, we are not going to discuss them here. We just will get the document.
He says he's
Yeah.
up to date. So
If
he'll give
he's
us
up
the
to date, he will give us the document, that's all, that's it.
For all the employees,
Yeah, all your employees,
That is statutory
yeah.
and third-party deductions, including loans, shares,
Our employees
whatever is
of,
deducted.
for us, we are very
From this.
discriminative as a committee. Eh? We only want
Yeah, it's
employees
special.
of PTCs and ECD.
We're asking for the-
The others can be invited by other committees, but we only deal with those two.
yes.
So those are the ones, so that if any appeal comes to us, we are up to date. And this helps you, Governor. Don't resist, because if we get a real petition on the same, we will still prosecute, and we will still have to deal with you, and we will still escalate it. So it's better.
And you have your right to reply. So once you give us evidence showing otherwise, that letter collapses.
Okay, thank you. Chair, allow me to respond about the 133 that you have mentioned. When you look at the FTCs, we have 108, which actually talk about the tools and equipments, the construction, and then we have the construction, that is development. In the issue of the bursaries, we have also the 25 million that is support to the FTC trainees. So 25 plus 108, that is what makes 133 million. Yeah, thank you. The issue of the letter that Senator is talking about, my department, we have not received that letter. Thank you.
Sorry.
About the statutory deduction that you have talked about.
But Chair, she has not seen.
No, you don't have to.
You are the source of the information. When such doubts are given to us, we ask you to give us information. So because we have said it is an issue that we want to interrogate, please give us just the information that all your teachers are okay, that all your instructors in VTCs are okay. So it is for you just to counter any petition that may be coming from the ground.
Mheshimiwa Mwenyekiti, kuna jambo la kushangaza. Hajaona barua.
We have not received. We have not received.
Hajaiona ujue.
We have not received.
Unapokea barua nyingi sana. Kwa hivyo ingebidi uione alafu useme hujaiona. Umesema hujaiona na hujui ni gani.
Na sija receive.
Hiyo ni mambo ya kukanusha vitu kabla hujaangalia kama
this letter cannot go to your department. It will go to the Department of Public Service and maybe the Public Service Board. Yeah.
Chair, there's a little one. I asked about other transfer support to Polytechnic. I wanted you to verify what Polytechnic refers to for that budget line.
Okay, thank you.
Are you giving bursaries to TVETs that are not county vocational training centers?
Thank you, Chair. Through the Chair, the issue of other transfers, this was actually meant for the vocational training colleges, and it's actually the capitation.
So correct your document for us to know it is for vocational, for us to know that it is for vocational training, because Polytechnic is anything.
Okay, actually the letter that has come is confirming what the governor himself presented. The governor said you are not implementing the current schemes of service. Wasn't that correct? Yeah, you said you are not able to, and then this year, January, you are able to increase by 3,000, I remember. And you said when you go to June, you will go to 3,000 more. So this is all what the complaint from this letter is all about. It is about the fact that the implementation of the current schemes of service has been shelved. You need to do it because you don't want claims that we have seen in primary schools where people are claiming their rights when they have retired and they will be paid because the courts of this country are very fair and they will say you were entitled to this but then it was not paid on time. We approved and we pushed the TSC to pay teachers who are retired their benefits that they should have gotten about 20 years ago. So their complaint is that instead you are trying to cover it during using the statutory, but actually this has not been implemented. So this is nothing like aroma. It is what you told us, but the senator did not pay attention. He would have known that you actually confessed it because I wrote this and I wanted to ask you a question on that one. Why are you wasting time doing progressive what SRC decided in 2021 while you are busy paying things like bursaries instead of auxiliaries, instead of paying them their 3,000? Yeah?
Chair, maybe
the other... You're calling it shortage of money, but you are misapplying your money.
The other thing that we need to be alive to, because I'm just not looking at the ECD teachers, the other people that I'm paying. And probably what you should be asking me is, what is your wage bill? Because if I do that, then I will be doing around 60% of pay, of PE, which is mean there will be no development. And that is why I've spread as economy improves, and as I collect more revenue, I can afford to pay.
But you know, bro, you are going to pay it anyway, because these people will demand it from 2021, because that is when their right came in. What we are telling you, and we are going to invite you to the devolution committee. Our committee will be asking you why you are at 60%, when some counties are actually at 40%, the required 40%, others are towards the 30% that is allowable. Still, you'll get that question. We know that you had problems. A lot of you decided whoever was employed before you, you will employ over and above those, so that we have your payroll is completely a mix of everything. The councillors, whoever were under the county council of Bomet, you are trying to push them and say, these were not my employees. We have that argument is there, and it is being sorted out by a different committee. So you need to just pay attention to the fact that these are your own, and you cannot continue to give an excuse that you don't have money if you are spending your money on auxiliary issues, things that don't belong to you. I hope you are getting our point.
Chair, I hope he realizes that it's not the Senate that employs for Bomet. It is you who employs for Bomet. So if you have a bloated human resource structure, it is you who will answer for it.
It's true, Chair, and I appreciate, and that's why I have to work within the law, and I stand advice. But I cannot also, in the process, break the law.
Thank you. But we want to help you because you seem to be looking at your responsibilities as a burden and enjoying doing things that are not yours. The other one is the VTCs. In fact, what you said shocked me. You said that there was an influx of VTC trainees against limited financial resource. Influx, you should be saving your children from staying in the streets. We don't want to have youth who are all over because they cannot be trained. If they are willing to go, it is not a negative influx. It should be a very positive influx. Train them and release them to the job market where they can do so. When you look at the areas of interest that we are interested in the Senate, I'm questioning, how come ECD and VTCs seem to be a burden to you? What else were you supposed to do in the education sector?
Chair, maybe the term was not appropriate, but in the context it was positive because we are talking of lessons learned and what was the reason for this influx. Maybe we need to get the proper terminology that we can use. It was because, one, a number of our learners, because of the economic challenges, cannot afford to come to VTCs. And through the program that we introduced, that is why the number went up. And probably that is something that we should enhance. It was in a positive context, it was not negative. We are not complaining about the numbers. In fact, we want more. If we can use shift, the better, because we want to give skills to these young people. And I think it is captured under lessons that we've been able to learn out of what we've been able to do. The negatives, we have learned how to improve. The positives, we need to enhance. So it was in that context, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Governor.
Yes.
Last word. I will give you the last word last. So I want the last words to come this way.
Give
so
me to ask the last question first, so that.
Okay.
Yes, this is with regards to the VTCs. My questions will be very specific. Do you have a committee that deals with how to award these bursaries? And if so, are they based at the ward level or at the county level? Two, in terms of the aspect on the scholarship, whether it's partial or full scholarship, what criteria did you use to identify those to be entitled to based on the fee structure, which I believe is different for those who are boarding and those who are day scholars? And lastly, and which is very important, and this one I would want also to get an answer on, the management of the VTC centers. This money that is allocated to the VTC, who are the signatories to all the 33 VTC accounts which we remit these funds which are allocated? Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, I think those are straightforward. CC?
I want to add one on VTCs.
Yeah.
Governor, how are your VTCs resourced? Do you have adequate resources, teaching and learning materials? Because I went to another county during our visits, and a VTC was teaching motor vehicle engineering without even a spoiled engine. So I was wondering how the learners would learn how where pistons are and where rings would be and so on. So are they well resourced to prepare well-baked graduates?
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. On the issue of VTCs, we have the committee at the ward level that they normally sit to award those bursaries. So for us to award maybe the full scholarship, we normally have the learners. Those who want to be trained, they come with the application, and then the committee will sit basing on the needs whereby we have classified. We have the questionnaire that is to be filled. We have those, maybe those who are orphan, those from single parents. depending on the need of those learners. So the committee actually sits and awards those bursaries, and depending on the application of the learners, some will be classified, maybe they are broad application for boarding, and some are broad application for being a day scholar. So that is what we normally do. On the management of the FEDCs.
How many members sit in this committee? How many members does a committee comprise of?
We have 7 members
7
in the
members.
committee. Yeah. Thank you. On the management of the FEDCs, we normally have the board of management, which comprises the chair. We have the secretary, who actually doubles up the principal, the center manager of the institution, and now we have the other committees that are actually there. All the signatories. Remember, we have the different accounts. We have the capitation account, and we also have another accounts for development. So we have the signatories. In other accounts, we have the chair and also the principals and the treasurer being the signatories. And in the other cases, because we need to follow on the development that are being done, we also have the CEO being in the signatory of those accounts. In the resources.
Madam Chair, allow me to intervene at that point with regard to that answer. Are you able to tell us who is the signatory to the capitation account? Between the director, the CEO, principal, or the chairperson?
Okay, thank you. We have the signatories is the principal, we have the director, and also the CEO.
Director is who?
Director for the vocational training colleges.
That's the county of official.
Yeah, county official.
Madam Chair, so that we also don't gossip.
I don't understand, sorry. You are saying this.
You're not on record.
The principal is the center manager,
Yes,
and then you have the director is your director of
vocational training.
vocational training.
Yeah,
So that's an employee of the county.
from the county government.
So that employee goes around all the VTCs.
Do they have a board?
Yeah, we have also the board.
You have a
The
chair.
director-
So we
I
have,
want the CEO to clarify.
No, we are speaking to him. Please don't interfere. Is the director a member of that board?
You're not on record.
okay.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Is the director a member of VCT boards?
Okay, allow me to actually give to the CEO to actually graph on the signatories, because we have, remember I said we have the accounts. We have one account which is actually meant for development, and then we have another account which is actually meant for the capitation. So let's see, I can see you.
Thank you. Chair for...
Come on, Brent.
Yeah, just give him the mic. Yeah.
I'm sorry to bring clarification. As signatories, you're having different accounts. One is for capitation, and that is, for, of course, operations. And the signatories are the CEO, which is me, the director VTC, and also the school principal. For development, we have a separate account, and in that case, the signatory is one of the board members, which is actually the chair, the principal of the institution, and I, the CEO. We also have another account that is for those who are paying fees. And for that account, the signatory is that we're having at the moment.
Let's have the name of that account, Madam Chair, please.
The first account is the
Capitation, which is for operations. Then we have the one for development. The third one is the one that the school is actually having for fees collection. Yes, the one for fees collection is the signatories are the principal and 2 board members. Thank you.
That is the name of the account. So that's the name of the account, fee collection.
Fees collection, yes, because they are those who pay fees. And that is why we said when we are giving partial bursaries, that those who pay fees, and we supplement by giving them the support. So there's fees collection for those who are able to pay, but for those who are under full scholarship, we meet all the fee requirements by giving them the fees. Thank you.
Okay,
Madam-
but what you said was that the development account, you as the chief officer is a signatory. No, he is the chief officer is a signatory in the development account. The capitation account, it is, are you the signatory also? In capitation account? Okay, We will compare you with other counties and we'll give you a recommendation.
Madam
Because
Chair.
we don't expect the PS from Nairobi to go down to the ground to sign some of these things. So we need to harmonize how we are operating, then we'll do a recommendation. Yeah.
Could I get to know whether in all the 33 visitors that is the position? That is 1 and 2, and this is information which you will need to clarify, Madam Chair, later, is because the information I have, I've said I'm a resident of Bomet. I meet these principals, I meet these board members, I meet students, and what I have is that, yes, and the indication is that the signatories to all the 33 VCTs that we have in Bomet County is the director and the CEO, not any board member, not any principal, not any chair of the board.
We will verify.
Please.
Yeah. And Chair,
that's for us to verify.
and Chair, I have a feeling that those accounts are too many.
It's every visitor.
It would be okay
Because-
to have 3. It is the complexity of who is a signatory, which we need to resolve.
Yeah, because
Once we compare with the other 4 governors who have been here, and we'll give them a recommendation.
yeah,
Because it
but
does
then-
not help to have something that is going to cause hurdles also on the expenditure. Because if the CEO is moving around the county to go and sign signatures in 33 VCTs for development and then for,
Chair,
do things that are
my
manageable.
thinking is, capitation is for use in the VTC, and also fees are for the use. Why should you have different accounts? How are they audited? Do you have the 3 statements going to the auditors? Why can't we have the same for development separately, but then for capitation and fees, we just have one?
Yeah, we will be able to recommend because that is their status.
Just a
They have
small
given
one.
us exactly what is going on. Then we'll sit through as we go through the other documents and what we are going to ask them to send us. Then we'll do.
CEO, can you confirm whether procurement is done at at the VCT or at the department? Now, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. For the case of development, the procurement is actually done in the vocational training centers. So sometimes even they can actually opt for the labor pace because we have, for example, if it is masonry, they can actually do, we have maybe consultant or the masonry trainee, and they can do, so they are doing their own procurement in the vocational training centers. On the case of the resources, I think that is where we are. The resources, I can say we have the resources, but they are not yet adequate. That is why we have classified our VTCs. We can call the Center of Excellence, so that we have, for example, one of them, we have CWOT, whereby they are the best in clothing and textile. They have actually the materials that they can be able to do the embroidery. They can actually be able, during the corona period, we are using them to make even the mask, and they could do it. Also, when it comes to food and beverages, they can be able to do. For the case for the motor vehicle, MVM, we have even centers that are, even though they are not adequate, but we have them. Thank you.
And what about the consumable? How are they procured?
Okay, since now it is a different entity, how it is normally being done, they do their own procurement process. Thank you.
Okay, I think we are finished. Chair?
Chair, please, with your permission, mine is just a clarification because Your Excellency, you said in the beginning that you are not given adequate time. No, you are not to be invited to this meeting. But I just want to confirm that for this particular meeting, a letter was done on 26th of March. And it was received and noted by the county clerk, Mr. Lagat.
It's because when it includes the weekend, it actually becomes a challenge.
Sorry, our communication was actually on time. Yeah, it was on time. Yeah.
I want to support them. I want to support you so that you give them services as they are expecting of you, as I also do my role to make sure that you get funds from the national government, and we work to serve the people of Kenya. And so I will continue speaking, whether you call them dramatizing, that's going to happen, and it's going to be better. And
It's all because of the people of Kenya. You know, governors, I've seen also your relationship with your senator, and it happens with most of us, because when we come to fight for the resources from the county, we are normally very friendly, you can have us. But whenever we ask questions regarding how the money is being used, most of the times we become enemies. It's the situation that we've learned to live with. How I wish that if you are asked a question, you'll be factual without making it as if it's a political statement. And this is what I tell governors, that we are here to safeguard devolution. We are like gun dogs. If we are gun dogs, we behave like gun dogs. So whenever we see there is a problem, we'll back, and where we cannot back, we'll always fight. Otherwise, thank you very much for coming and for answering the questions that you have answered. And I know when you come back, things will be better. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Senator.
Fruitful discussion. And Madam Chair, the only thing I would want to encourage the governor is that let us stick to our mandate. Let us not, from what I've heard from this discussion, Madam Chair, is that we are concentrating more with politics, and where we can get so much, we forget our mandate and functions. Even if what we're going to do will not give us votes, it can give us blessings. And blessings are better than votes, because the power of God can give you votes where there are no votes. So, and I know it's in your second term, I might be correct, it's your second term, so you don't need votes. More what you need is blessings. You can be even in a bigger office than this office of governor. So for us, Madam Chair, it's to encourage the governor, let us do what we're supposed to do. And the good governor, Wakili, is not doing anything bad, he's just doing his oversight role. And if you follow what he's telling you, you'll become even more popular than him in the county. Thank you.
Thank you.
Work. It is the best thing that we gave to ourselves in 2010. Let us collaborate, let us cooperate, let us work together to make sure that it works for the people of Bomet and for the people of Kenya. ECD, VTC, these are human resource development, and so we want the best for ECD children, we want the best for VTCs, and I've seen most governors overlooking ECDE because the children are young. All of us one time we were young. We started as young children, and teachers chiseled our minds through teachers, and we became whatever we became, professors, doctors, and so on. So let's concentrate on ECD, because that is where we make our people. I would wish that governor will take the advice and the counsel of this committee, that we do our role as per Schedule 4 of the Constitution. Let us not relegate on our role, let us not renege on our role, and take functions that are not devolved. Secondary education is not devolved, primary education is not devolved, universities are not devolved. Let's stick to our lane, and all of us will be happy at the end of the day. Thank you.
Just to thank you so much to you and your team for turning up, and you will agree that we had a conversation that, in my view, has enriched. When you go back, you should be able to, there are areas you'll be able to improve on, and as colleagues have said, our job is to protect devolution. Our job is to do that within the law, within the Constitution, and we will continue, not just with Bomet, but with all the 47 counties. We would ask the same questions, and what we urge you to do is to take this not as politics, but as serious feedback that may very well even help you at personal levels, because our Constitution says responsibility will go up to personal levels. So it would be sad to hear that you left office and people are chasing you for the rest of your life because you did something illegal. So we want to ask that you take this positively, and where you need to, you could do better, you just invest in doing better. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before I ask our committee chair to make her last remarks, I want to give you the list of items we have just tisted out what we have been telling you to, just in case, and ownership, whether it is on private land or public land, where the ECD center is built. That can be in one table, one page. It's very easy to do that. And then number 2 is confirmation of supply of milk to ECD centers from January to March. Let's get the actual and the payments. Did you pay for 3 months and then the supply was less?
Agreement with this.
So please give us that confirmation. But we really want our eyes to be opened on what is really auxiliary. And then number 7, signatories to bank signatories. According to the 3 accounts that CEO, you said you have 3 accounts. So give us the 3 accounts and the signatories. And then finally, there was a question on how procurement is done.